They've haunted history, whispered lies into dreams, and bent the world with nothing more than a flick of their will. Now more are coming. Season 4 of The Wheel of Time is about to unveil its most terrifying villains, and the clues have been hiding in plain sight. From showrunner hints to spine-tingling book parallels, we're pulling back the veil on who's coming next and why it should terrify everyone. This isn't just about the Forsaken we know. It's about the ones we've only begun to fear. Why more Forsaken must appear in Season 4? The Third Age doesn't survive without facing every shadow cast by the Age of Legends. Season 3 introduced us to Lanfear and Sammael, but Robert Jordan's lore is clear. There are 13 Forsaken, and each plays a pivotal role in the final war between light and shadow. Season 4 is the perfect storm, the point at which the show must raise the stakes. We've seen glimpses of the cost of war, but we haven't yet seen how wide the shadow's grip truly is. That's about to change. Bringing in more Forsaken isn't just a nod to book fans. It's a structural necessity. Without them, the last battle lacks scale. The fall of kingdoms lacks weight. The show can't keep the stakes grounded in the White Tower alone. By expanding the cast of villains, it also deepens the complexity of the story's moral and magical threats. We need villains who seduce, who corrupt, who manipulate from within, rather than destroy from without. And that's what the next wave of Forsaken will do. Rahvin. Of all the Forsaken not yet seen, Rahvin is perhaps the most politically insidious. He doesn't storm castles. He sits in them. Known in the books as Lord Gabriel, Rahvin uses compulsion to seize control of Queen Moghedien, turning the court into a puppet theater with him pulling the strings. The show has already hinted at political unrest in Camlan, and the absence of a strong Andorran narrative so far has many theorizing that Season 4 will fix that by unleashing Rahvin. His power isn't just in seduction or sorcery, it's in his ability to destabilize. And for Graendal 4, Andor isn't just another realm. It's the home of his birth, his lineage, and his responsibility. If Rahvin appears, it will strike at the very heart of Rand's identity. And more than that, it introduces a villain who doesn't need a sword to destroy a nation. He only needs a throne. Grindle. Grindle is not chaos, she is control. Where Lanfear uses love and Rahvin uses power, Grindle uses desire itself. In the books, she gathers slaves, powerful people whose minds she stripped to nothing, keeping them as trophies of her domination. Her palace is a mask of pleasure, behind which lies pure rot. If she appears in Season 4, it won't be as a loud antagonist. It will be quiet at first, gentle, elegant, but beneath that grace lies a predator. Her influence would corrupt characters from the inside, forcing the heroes to question who they trust and why they're so willing to follow her suggestions. Introducing Graendal opens the door to more adult themes: manipulation, addiction, psychological collapse, all of which deepen the show's already mature tone. Her arrival wouldn't just raise the stakes, it would infect the story. Summerh. Summerh is feared by everyone, Forsaken included. A master of torture, she once posed as a healer in the Age of Legends, using her skills to explore the limits of agony. Her appearance in Season 4 would mark a turning point for the show's tone, pushing it into true horror. She doesn't kill quickly, she makes people. And her arrival would introduce a question more terrifying than any battlefield. How much of yourself can you lose before you're no longer you? If Summerh is unleashed, the show could explore the philosophical and emotional destruction she brings. She wouldn't appear in the spotlight. She'd come quietly, a captured character, a vanished Aes Sedai, whispers of pain behind closed doors. And then suddenly, the world would know, the one who heals with screams has returned. Demandred. In the shifting tides of power and prophecy, Demandred is the dark horse, the Forsaken who waits, who plans, who prepares. Unlike his counterparts, he doesn't crave recognition or spectacle. He craves victory, and in the books, he nearly achieves it. Demandred disappears for much of the series, only to return at the last battle with a fully formed army and a new identity. Shrouded in mystery, the show has a choice: delay his reveal, or begin planting seeds now. If Season 4 leans into long-form strategic storytelling, introducing Demandred early would be a masterstroke. He doesn't need a grand entrance. He needs whispers, a military leader rising in the east, a general no one can identify, a growing force unaligned with the dragon or the Seanchan. His reveal would be devastating because it wouldn't be a surprise. It would be the moment when every unexplained victory suddenly makes sense. Demandred doesn't just fight with fire, he fights with foresight. Moghedien. There's something about Moghedien that always lingers. She's not the most powerful Forsaken in brute force. She's not the most charismatic, but she is the most terrifying, because she is the one you never see coming. In the books, she thrives in Tel'aran'rhiod, the world of dreams, where her manipulation of reality makes her virtually untouchable. Season 3 hinted at dreamwalkers, and Lanfear's manipulation of dreams opened the door for others. But Moghedien isn't a guest in the dream world. She is its predator. Her appearance in Season 4 would elevate the psychological horror of the show, twisting familiar spaces into nightmare realms. And if she confronts Nynaeve, as she does in the books, it could be one of the most intense rivalries the series has to offer. Moghedien brings suspense, paranoia, and the sense that nowhere, not even your own mind, is safe. She isn't just coming, she's already here. Asmodean. No Forsaken is more narratively fascinating or tragic than Asmodean. Once a brilliant musician, he chose the shadow not for power, but for immortality and the ability to continue his art. Yet in the books, he ends up switching sides, becoming Rand's reluctant teacher in the One Power. If Season 4 introduces him, it could open one of the most compelling arcs in the show. A Forsaken who begins to see the light, not through ideology, but through desperation and proximity. Asmodean isn't a monster. He's a man who made the wrong choice, then lived long enough to regret it. Casting him in Season 4 would allow for tension, betrayal, and the dangerous game of trust between Rand and someone who has every reason to kill him. It would also offer a fresh dynamic, a mentor who fears his student, and a hero who must learn from a murderer to survive what's coming. Belal and the Forgotten Fire. Belal is often considered the least impactful Forsaken in the books, appearing suddenly, only to be destroyed by Balefire before his character can fully develop. But the show has a chance to change that, to give Belal a more meaningful role. He is a duelist, a master of the sword and strategy, and his presence in Tyr could signal a climactic confrontation with Rand. Unlike Ishamael or Lanfear, Belal isn't driven by madness or obsession. He wants Kalendor, the sword that is not a sword, and he wants to use it to reclaim what he believes was stolen from him. His appearance could be short, but memorable. A reminder that not all Forsaken are built for long games. Some are firecrackers, and when they go off, the world burns. The leak hints. Recent casting leaks and behind-the-scenes rumors strongly suggest that Season 4 will feature at least 3 new Forsaken. While names haven't been officially confirmed, the character profiles, mysterious nobility, foreign warlords, enigmatic seductresses, align too well with Rahvin, Demandred, and Grindle to ignore. Scenes filmed in opulent interiors suggest a palace of influence. Extras dressed in regal, almost decadent clothing match the descriptions of Grendal's court. And a large-scale battle sequence filmed over multiple weeks may be the show's first glimpse at Demandred's unseen army. These leaks, while unofficial, give fans reason to prepare, not for one Forsaken, but for a wave. And if the show is building toward the last battle, that wave needs to hit soon. Why these villains matter now? There's a reason these Forsaken didn't appear earlier. The pattern needs them now. As Rand comes into his own, as the White Tower fractures, as kingdoms teeter on collapse, the show requires adversaries who can challenge our heroes on every level. Not just with power, but with ideology, with seduction, with corruption. The Forsaken are more than evil. They are twisted mirrors of what the world once was, and what it might become again. Each new introduction must raise the emotional, strategic, and metaphysical stakes. The Dark One is still sealed, but his champions walk free. And if the heroes aren't tested by the worst of them, then the light hasn't earned its victory. The mystery of the Eighth Forsaken. Among all the leaked clues, one theory continues to gain traction. and it could reshape the narrative trajectory of Season 4 entirely. What if the show isn't just introducing the Forsaken we know from the books, but has quietly created a new one? Someone we've already met. Someone hiding in plain sight. In Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, the Forsaken are clearly defined. 13 traitors, each with their own dark motivations and twisted legacies. But the television adaptation has already proven willing to remix canon when it serves the story. A hidden Forsaken, masquerading as a minor character or political ally, would be a devastating twist, and one entirely within the realm of possibility. Imagine a beloved figure turning out to be a sleeper agent for the Shadow. Their every act suddenly recontextualized. It would make trust itself a liability, and it would deepen the theme that evil doesn't always arrive in black cloaks and storms. It sometimes smiles from across a table, asking nothing more than your loyalty. The balance of the Forsaken. There's an elegant symmetry to how the Forsaken are written in Jordan's world, and the show seems to understand this well. For every type of hero, there is a Forsaken to test them. Rand must face those who knew him as Luz Theron. Egwene must confront dreamwalkers like Moghedien. Perrin, a man of instinct and resistance to domination, must face the seductive, psychological tactics of Graendal. Mat, born of luck and stubborn defiance, may one day face Sammael or Below, generals who see war as a game to be won with clever cruelty. These mirrors are not coincidental, they are crucial. Season 4, by introducing more Forsaken, will sharpen these reflections. It will show us not just who the heroes are, but who they could become if they lost their way. And in that contrast, the show will amplify the most important truth of the Wheel of Time: that the light and the shadow are not divided by species or strength, but by choice. The Rise of the Shadow. If the Wheel of Time were only a story about magic and monsters, the Forsaken would be easy to dismiss. But they are something far more insidious. They are the past mistakes given flesh. They are the architects of the Age of Legends' downfall, walking once more in a world they helped ruin. Their return is not just a plot point, it's a judgment, a reminder that every age carries the seeds of its own destruction, and those seeds do not rot quietly. When Summerh brings torture back into the halls of healing, when Rahvin whispers lies into the ear of royalty, when Moghedien makes nightmares real, they are not just advancing the Shadow's cause. They are unraveling what it means to hope. And that is their real power. Not fireballs, not immortality, but despair. Final thoughts. Season 4 of The Wheel of Time is not just another chapter. It's the season where shadows take shape. The Forsaken are coming. And they won't come in isolation. They'll come as architects, as infiltrators, as tyrants in silk and generals in armor. Their presence will shift the tone of the show, adding layers of danger, betrayal, and psychological weight that even the most powerful channeling cannot undo. And as they rise, so too must our heroes, not just in strength, but in conviction. Because facing the Forsaken is not about winning battles, it's about resisting the temptation to become like them. By the time Season 4 ends, the line between prophecy and manipulation will blur. Some heroes will fall, others will rise. And all of us watching will be reminded that in the turning of the wheel, the darkest threads often shine the brightest right before they burn.